Make this herring recipe, and you'll impress your guests with its rich flavor and traditional character. Start by preparing the herring. Use as many fillets as you like. Cut them lengthwise into 2 pieces, then carefully remove the skin, making sure not to damage the flesh. Once the herring is ready, season both sides with salt and pepper to enhance the flavor. Next, coat the herring in all-purpose flour. The flour will help create a crispy golden crust when frying. Heat oil in a pan and fry the herring on both sides until golden brown. Place the hot, fragrant herring directly into a jar, leaving some space at the top. In a pot, add ½ cup of vinegar and 1 cup of water. Vinegar gives the herring a signature tangy flavor. Then, add 2 to 3 allspice berries and 2 to 3 bay leaves for depth of taste and aroma. Stir in 1 tablespoon of sugar to balance the marinade. Finally, add a generous amount of sliced onion. Bring everything to a boil to blend the flavors. Once the marinade is ready, pour it into the jar, ensuring the liquid completely covers the fish. That's it. These pickled herring fillets are aromatic, flavorful, and perfect for any occasion. Delicious chicken fillets in soy sauce. My family asks for them every day, and everyone who tries them asks for more. You need 4 chicken fillets. Cut them diagonally, all the same way, only on one side. Cut 2 red onions in half and chop them. Slice 2 larger tomatoes. Pour 2 tablespoons of olive oil and ½ cup of soy sauce into a large dish. Add a pinch of salt, a bit of pepper, oregano, and basil to taste. Remember that soy sauce is already salty, so you don't need too much salt. Add a tablespoon of brown sugar and squeeze 2 cloves of garlic through a press. You can add more garlic if you like. Marinate the chicken breasts in the mixture. Soak them on each side. Wrap in foil and let it sit for ½ an hour. Sprinkle onions on the bottom of a baking dish. Arrange tomato slices on top. Place the chicken fillets on them. Arrange them side by side. Pour the remaining marinade over them. Put it in a preheated oven at 180 degrees for 30 minutes. After this time, take it out and sprinkle the top with grated yellow cheese. Put it back in the oven, bake until the cheese melts and browns. You can serve the finished dish to guests. It looks amazing and tastes excellent. You can place a single fillet on a plate and savor its original taste. Everyone is surprised by this simple dish and asks for the recipe. Create a salad that no holiday or New Year's Eve celebration can be without. Cook 10 ounces of tortellini in salted water according to the package instructions. Dice 10 ounces of ham and transfer it to a large bowl. Add 1 cup of corn. Dice 6 pickles and 1 peeled cucumber, then add them to the bowl. Take 1 red bell pepper, remove the seeds, chop it into small pieces, and add it along with some chopped chives. Once the tortellini is cooked, drain and let it cool before adding it to the salad. Now, prepare the dressing. In a smaller bowl, mix 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise with 3 tablespoons of plain yogurt. Add 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 2 teaspoons of honey mustard, and 2 teaspoons of whole grain mustard. Grate in 1 clove of garlic and season with salt and pepper to taste. Stir everything well, then pour the dressing over the salad and mix thoroughly. Finally, add 5 ounces of diced cheddar or another yellow cheese. Store the salad in jars for easy storage. This flavorful dish will be a hit at any holiday or New Year's Eve table.
Pork skewers with potatoes are a version for enthusiasts of both skewers and pork. Have you ever tried making pork skewers? Prepare about 1 kilogram of boneless pork shoulder. Cut it into pieces about 1 centimeter thick. Spread all the pieces on a cutting board and cover with plastic wrap. Take a meat mallet and gently pound all the prepared cutlets. Remove the wrap and season the meat with salt and pepper on both sides. Take 2 large potatoes and cut them into slices of medium thickness. Transfer them to a bowl. Sprinkle with salt and pepper to taste. Season with a teaspoon of sweet red paprika. pour 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil and gently mix the potatoes. Take 2 skewers for the skewers. On the cutting board, place 2 slices of potatoes next to each other. Pierce them with the skewers. 1 skewer for 1 slice of potato. Now take the first piece of meat and place it on the skewers. Press it against the potatoes. Now take 2 onion rings and place them on the meat. Place bacon on the onion. Now, create a layer with potatoes and then add meat, onion, and bacon sequentially. Arrange the skewer's ingredients in alternating layers. When the skewer is too large, you can lay it on the cutting board and finish adding more layers. When all the layers are ready, the skewer will look like this. All the layers are visible. Now, prepare aluminum foil and moistened baking paper. Moist paper is more flexible and makes it easier to wrap the meat and shape it for the baking sheet. Place the skewer on the paper, wrap it, and pack it tightly in foil. Transfer the skewer to an oven-proof dish and bake in an oven preheated to 200 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. In the meantime, prepare a marinade with 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of ketchup, a small teaspoon of French mustard, and 2 teaspoons of honey. Mix the marinade. After an hour of baking the meat, remove it and unwrap it from the foil and paper. Brush the marinade with a brush. Do this on the entire surface. Put the skewer back in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes until it turns golden brown. After baking, remove the skewer and transfer it to a plate. It looks juicy and delicious. Cut it in half lengthwise. Such a skewer is a perfect idea for a tasty dinner or an unusual supper. This is the best pork chop recipe I have ever tried. It's aromatic and juicy. Cut the meat into pieces, but don't cut all the way through, creating a harmonica-like shape. Transfer it to a baking dish. In a bowl, add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of black pepper, and herbe de Provence. Mix thoroughly and sprinkle this spice mixture over the meat, making sure to cover every centimeter of the pork chop. Peel 2 onions and cut them in half, then slice them into strips. Take a piece of bacon and slice it into pieces of similar thickness. Layer each piece of pork chop with onion strips, placing 2 pieces in each cut. Add the bacon as well, pressing them deep into the cuts to prevent them from fouling out during baking. Prepare 200 grams of vegetable oil. Add a teaspoon of salt, marjoram, and sweet paprika. Mix everything thoroughly. Apply this marinade using a silicone brush, spreading it evenly over the entire pork chop. The final step is sauerkraut. It's very healthy and prepared this way. It's delicious. Place it around the roast in the baking dish, filling any empty spaces. Bake for 50 minutes in an oven, preheated to 392 degrees Fahrenheit. After this time, your meal for the whole family will be ready for an hour. The sauerkraut will be well seasoned. Pork chops are often dry, but this recipe ensures they are always flavorful and juicy. It's a perfect idea for a family dinner or a larger gathering. The meat literally melts in your mouth,